Alright guys, welcome back to Fog Wrestling for your WWE Smackdown review. Friday Night Smackdown. Are you ready for a good time? Are you ready for a good review? Well, the review might not be that good because unfortunately, again, I'm messed up with the time zones at the moment. I thought SmackDown started at 1 o'clock in the UK. Turns out it actually started at midnight, so I missed the first hour. I did not get to see the first hour. So what I did do was go back and basically checked on Twitter what happened. I know it's not ideal, but it gives me basically it gives me some sort of idea what happened in the first hour. And we kicked off the show with what appears to be Daniel Bryan and Edge. And it looked like, well, I think it was Daniel Bryan first, and he was interrupted by Edge. Daniel Bryan made a case that he made Roman Reigns tap out at Fastlane and that he deserves a shot at the Universal Champion, whether it be a match against Roman Reigns, whether he be added to the triple threat match to make it, triple threat Edge, Reigns, Daniel Bryan, or he says maybe even Edge and Roman Reigns can face each other on night one, then face him on night two. Edge came out, interrupted Bryan, basically says that you're stealing my spotlight. I won the Royal Rumble, you didn't. You've had your chance, kind of deal. Edge kind of acting a wee bit heelish here, a wee bit of a crybaby. I mean, a face would kind of be like, although I do get Edge's point of view here, he did win the Royal Rumble, so he does deserve a one-on-one match. But I mean, look at Benoit. Benoit won the Rumble, and he didn't get a one-on-one match, so he didn't cry about it. He just, went to WrestleMania and battered Shawn Michaels and Triple H. So why doesn't Edge just do that? But anyway, it ends with Edge and Daniel Bryan brawling, and Edge hits a spear on Bryan and hits him with a chair. Um, to start off SmackDown, it looked good. Then we've seen Roman Reigns backstage looking a wee bit stressed. Up next, we had Seth Rollins versus Nakamura. No interest in this. Apparently, after this, it was announced it was going to be Seth Rollins versus Cesaro at WrestleMania. Another match I have zero interest in. Then we had Adam Pearce backstage with Roman Reigns in Roman Reigns' dressing room, and Roman Reigns said to Adam Pearce, "You get me for one night and one title defense." So Roman Reigns basically ruling out the idea of him possibly having to do two title defenses against one against Edge on night one, then another one against Bryan on night two. So Roman Reigns laying down the law here to Adam Pearce, even though Adam Pearce is supposed to be in charge. It's Roman Reigns who's making the decisions. Adam Pearce, spineless, gutless, hasn't got a backbone in his fucking body. I mean, you could blow on this guy and his spine would crack and he'd just fall into dust. So, I mean, why is this guy the GM? He's not even the GM, he's the official. It's just awful. Awful. Up next, we had the party boy. I forget what they're called. The guys with the cups with Big E, and I guess they were in six-man tag action. I don't really know. Then it was announced that Big E is taking on Apollo at WrestleMania. Then I tuned in and I got this. This is what I did see. It was Kevin Owens talking to Sami Zayn in the ring. Owens wanted an answer if Sami Zayn would face him at Mania. And Owens said the only reason he's not beating the shit out of Sami Zayn is because he needs him to answer this question. Sami Zayn eventually answered the question after telling Owens that Logan Paul was going to be on SmackDown next week to help with Sami Zayn's documentary. I'm not too sure what Logan Paul has got to do with documentaries apart from that time he filmed the dead body. I don't know why is he in the documentary. Maybe because the WWE's dead and irrelevant, so maybe that's why Logan Paul's going to be in this documentary. But I mean, apart from that, I do not know. So Logan Paul's going to be on SmackDown next week. Sami Zayn accepted Owens' offer to face him at Mania, and then Owens said the same. Well, now that I have your answer, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And then they had a fake brawl. Garbage. Just garbage. Another match. I'm looking at these matches that have been announced. I'm not looking forward for any of them. Kevin Owens, Sane, Big E, Apollo, Cesaro, Seth Rollins. This looks like it's going to be. This certainly isn't a star-studded Mania. It's just indie bums, really. And really, when you think about it, let's be real, it is. None of these guys are stars. They're not. They're not. And again, it's going to be a WrestleMania without Taker. I don't think we're not going to get Triple H on it. We're not going to get any returns. It doesn't look like Goldberg's going to be there. Brock Lesnar's not going to be there. At least we're getting Edge, but overall, it just it looks like a really poor Mania. There's like maybe three or four matches at a push that I'm looking forward to. But apart from that, it's not looking good. Let's see here. Up next with Bianca Belair talking about the slap that Sasha Banks gave her. She put Banks over, saying Banks is great, but she's that much better. And she says she's a bigger person and she's going to be the better person at WrestleMania when she wins the SmackDown Women's Championship. Then we had Belair versus Natalya. I mean, really, does Natalya need to be on our TV screens? Natalya offers absolutely nothing. She's probably the most boring member of the Hart Foundation, and that just sums her up because even the best member of the Hart Foundation was boring as fuck, Bret Hart. So it kind of tells you how boring Natalya is. Halfway through this match with Sasha Banks coming out looking hot, but got to be honest, looking like a stripper, looking like she'd be sitting at the the end of the street ready to suck dick for a tenner. She's really, I know, really dressing like a prostitute. It's kind of weird that they're pushing the, this women's movement, and they want the women to wrestle, and it's not about looks, it's about wrestling ability. They've kind of have Sasha Banks coming dressed out like this, and I'm not complaining. I mean, I think it's good to see Sasha looking like this, looking hot, but at the same time, it's like it just seems a bit contradictory to what their agenda is supposed to be. So you know what, but it's good. I wish we could see I wish we could see more of this, just like the time where the cameraman went into Alexa Bliss's changing room and she was getting changed, and you kind of seen her with like her bra half off. I mean, if you go and look on YouTube, that is like the most viewed women's clip in WWE history, and and I wonder why. You know what I mean? Sex sells. Why not fucking do more of this shit? But yeah, she looked hot, but definitely looked more like a stripper, a prostitute than a fucking a PG wrestler in 2021. Um, we had Bianca Belair slap Sasha Banks, then she beat Natalya. I mean, I can't believe it. Natalya lost, really? I've never seen the boat lose. She's the best of all time. I've never seen her lose a match until tonight. Cannot believe it. Absolutely shocked. This almost made me turn off the TV and start a petition to get the loss taken away. I couldn't believe Natalya actually lost a match. Then Sasha got in, hit the backbreaker on Belair, and posed with the belt. After that, we had Rey Mysterio take on. No, we didn't. We didn't. With Edge come in to Roman Reigns' locker room, and he basically says to Reigns, "Look, Bryan's trying to get his way into the match. It's not fair. You've got stroke around here. Make sure it doesn't happen." So, and during this, Jey Uso was getting up in Edge's face. He was like wanting to beat up Edge, saying, "Are you lost, bro? Why are you here, bro?" So Roman Reigns kind of gets Jey Uso to back off, and then he tells Edge that if Edge, he says Edge has got balls, but if Edge doesn't have a good reason for being here, he's going to let the pit bull off his leash. But Jey Uso loses to everybody, so why would Edge be worried about Jey Uso? I mean, this is not a pit bull that's going to tear Edge apart. This is a guy that has lost his last like what 4 or 5 matches in a row. I mean, Kevin Owens beat him, no problem. Daniel Bryan beat him, no problem. Edge beat him just last week at Fastlane. So but they're trying to make up as if Jey Uso's some dominant force that you don't want, you don't want unleashed. I mean, it's a guy that loses every match. Come on, let's be real here. Fucking the segment itself wasn't bad, but the logic is pretty stupid. Stupid as Shane McMahon would call Braun Strowman. But that whole storyline stupid. I mean, wrestling's been stupid for years now. If we're being honest, if we're being real with ourselves. Anyway, up next it was Rey Mysterio versus Ziggler. The commentators kind of pushed the fact we might get the Rey Mysterio dad and son getting a shot at the tag titles. I don't really want to see that. Mysterios versus the Dirty Dogs doesn't interest me. I don't know. Wrestling doesn't interest me in general. Mysterio beats Dolph Ziggler. Can we just get Dominic away from Mysterio? I mean, if can we maybe make Mysterio relevant for maybe a year or two before he retires? Dominic just all the only thing that Dominic's got in common with Mysterio is his last name. I mean, that is it. That is fucking it. The guy isn't good. I mean, he's not awful. Like he's not. He's. I mean, he's not terrible. But when you're Rey Mysterio's son, you're going to be held to a higher standard, and he just doesn't have it. Whether he's Ray's son or Eddie's son, it doesn't matter. Although he was wearing an Eddie shirt, which I guess was kind of cool. Then in the main event, it was Adam Pearce coming out, and he announced in front of Edge, Roman Reigns, and Daniel Bryan There was all these different possibilities what he could do, but he announced it was going to be a triple threat match at Mania. Edge didn't like this. Edge attacked Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan got the better of Edge. Roman Reigns came in. Big Superman punch to Bryan. Edge then did a spear on Roman Reigns. Jey Uso tried to come in and help Roman Reigns. Edge took him out. Edge got a chair. Edge was battering everyone. Went for the concerto. Uso managed to distract Edge long enough for Roman Reigns to make the escape. Then Edge went to do the concerto to Daniel Bryan. Some officials ran out into the ring. Edge hit them with a chair. Edge looked like he snapped. Edge then sat down in the ring, sat on the chair, and SmackDown went off the air. So there you go. Edge sat on a chair, and SmackDown went off the air. Are you ready for a good time, guys? I'll be honest, from what I've seen, it didn't seem like the worst show, to be fair. I mean, the Edge, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns stuff it's been decent, if I'm being honest. It's been decent at best, which I guess, but nothing's decent in wrestling nowadays. So when something's decent, it's like, it seems great, when in reality it's not that great, but it's better than nothing. Uh, and it was good to see, a prostitute on the show. $5 banks. That's what I'm going to call from now on. $5 banks. So yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 10. It seemed alright. It did, even though I missed the first hour. It seemed pretty good, and I like the fact that they used Edge, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan throughout the show, which is good, rather than just a one and done. I don't know how many times WWE do this one and done, but I have noticed over the past couple of months they seem to be like stretching stuff throughout the show, which is always good. So hopefully they continue to do that. But I'm giving this a 3 out of 10, guys. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this SmackDown. And yep, 2 weeks away for WrestleMania. Can't say I'm looking forward to it, but there should be a couple of good matches. But I don't think wrestling's going to be anywhere near, you know, good again until we at least get fans back. This current era, it does seem very lackluster, almost as if they're just half-assing these shows until they get the fans back. Just kind of like I'm half-assing this review, to be perfectly honest. Alright, guys, that's it. I'm out. Till next time. Peace.